ABC 6 News 11 at 11 starts right now.
Coming up on ABC 6 News 11 at 11, a major win for the Seas as the chase for 18 continues. We have live coverage in studio and from the Garden. And pro-Palestinian protesters are taking a stand at the state's Democratic Convention today. Hear what they have to say.
Plus, we take you to the finale of Gaspee Days for a look at the colonial encampment and a deep dive into one of the most overlooked events in U.S. history. All that and more coming up on ABC 6 News.
First, we're starting you off with Celtics coverage tonight. The Celtics win in a tight matchup, Ian, against the Mavericks in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Caitlin Gelhaus, joined here by ABC 6 News sports anchor Ian Steele. Ian, quite a battle tonight at the Garden. It was close, and I know that you and Nick were saying Game 2 wasn't necessarily in the C's favor.
No, absolutely not. The Mavericks hadn't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs so far, so coming in, the Celtics needing to buck that trend and get a win in Game 2 themselves. Let's go to the highlights here. Game 2 of the NBA Finals, the Celtics taking on the Dallas Mavericks with a hurting Luka Doncic. We'll get more into that later on in the sportscast. Boston putting together key plays down the stretch in this one, starting on the defensive end, forcing the turnover at midcourt. It gets to Drew Holiday, who pulls up for three. He had 26 points tonight. The C's only champion playing like he wants another ring. The Mavs go on a 9-0 run to get back within 5. Fast break to get within a possession, but Derek White with the rejection here. And then on the next possession on the other end, Jaylen Brown attacking the basket, puts his team up 7 in the final minute, and that is the dagger. The Celtics win 105-98, taking a 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals. Now, ABC 6 Sports Director Nick Coit will join us in a few minutes with post-game reaction from the team. Caitlin, back over to you.
Thanks, Ian. We're looking forward to that report from Nick. Now let's get a check on the forecast. ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Bill Gall joins us here in the Weather Center. Bill, what can we expect for the week as people are preparing Sunday night? They're wondering what they should put on tomorrow morning, right, for work.
All right, well, hey, it's going to be a fairly dry stretch coming up and then feeling a little more summery by the end of the week. So, but we did have to deal with some rain this morning. It was a little bit on the wet side, not a terrible amount, heavy amounts. Generally, it was a quarter inch or less. The jackpot was right up in the northern portions of the state, up around areas around Burrowville and over towards Bellingham, Mass. and Franklin, Mass., where it was about a third of an inch. But it was lower amounts as you got towards the Cape. And the sky cleared out nicely this afternoon. We had a very nice evening out there and, of course, enjoyable weather to watch the Celtics game. And right now we're at 60 degrees in Providence. Just a few passing clouds are what we're dealing with. And there's some spots to the north and west that have settled back into the upper 50s. There are more clouds coming in from the west. You see the rain in southern New York State. That's all going to dry up as it heads into southern New England. We don't have to worry about any rain showers for the rest of the night. Just some passing clouds and overnight lows bottoming right around 56 degrees. In fact, just about everybody in southern New England is going to bottom out in the mid-50s. Heading off to work tomorrow morning, going to be looking at bright sunshine about 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll see reading it back up to 60, and coming home it'll be a 74 degrees with some puffy clouds mixing with that sunshine. Just off a degree or so from the high that will occur during the course of the afternoon. It looks like Providence is going to top off at 75, Newport 71, and a little cooler on Block Island at 62 degrees. Now coming up, like I said, it's going to be generally dry and comfortable for the next few days, so we'll look at that. There is going to be increasing heat and humidity for the end of the week, and then we're going to take a look ahead to Father's Day weekend. All that just ahead. Caitlin.
Thanks, Bill. Looks like a great start to the week. Now, new tonight on 11 at 11, a group of pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside the Rhode Island Democratic Party State Convention to urge an end to military aid to Israel. The protest was organized by the Rhode Island chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America and the Rhode Island Uncommitted Campaign. The protesters explaining why they were protesting out there today.
We are protesting mainly because of the situation in Gaza and how we feel like the Democratic Party just isn't listening to us anymore. So we're at the point where we feel like we have to show our support, because if we just let them continue what they're doing, they're going to keep bombing Gaza and destroying the country.
Now, we did reach out to the state Democratic Party for comment, but we have not yet heard back. Last night in Fall River, a 5-year-old and his parents were bit by a dog. The child and his dad were treated at Rhode Island Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The incident happened on Etna Street. Police say the child and his mom were walking into the home while a neighbor was walking out with their leashed dog when the accident happened. Meanwhile, the dad heard all of this commotion, and while trying to provide help, he also got bit in the groin area. Animal Control did respond to the home to take custody of the dog and begin the quarantine process. Fall River police are also warning the public about an online scam. Officials say a social media post suggesting a 2-year-old with significant injuries was dropped off at the police station was circulating online this weekend. The post told users that police did not know the child's identity, encouraging them to share the information. Police said the post is fake, saying no such thing ever happened. And Tiverton police are attempting to identify an individual they say made a purchase at North Tiverton News, a tobacco shop, using a stolen credit card yesterday morning. They provided these surveillance pictures that you're seeing right there on your screen right now. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Tiverton Police Department. And now let's move on over to some other weekend headlines. Today marked the finale of the annual Gaspee Days Festival. ABC6 News reporter Ryan Medeiros stopped by the Colonial Encampment in Warwick to learn why the event holds such historical significance in the Ocean State.
Reenactors gathering in Patuxent Park this weekend for the annual Gaspee Days celebration.
It's great to see that people take pride in our history, especially in the times where a lot of people are trying to lose our history.
The celebration is a long callback to 1772, when the Gaspee, a British ship, chased a colonist boat off the coast of Warwick.
So tricked him onto a sandbar. A few hours later, some men from Providence rowed down and just happened to blow it up.
Centuries later, Rhode Islanders still expressing pride in a historic moment for the Ocean State.
And it goes so under the radar, the fact that a bunch of Rhode Islanders just rowed out and blew up a ship. I feel like that's very us.
The pinnacle of the festival is, fittingly, the burning of the Gaspee, a tradition 250 years in the making.
It's not every day you get to celebrate 250 years of an organization. Just to have been part of the history of the United States. The regiment was there from the beginning.
For some participants, Gaspee Days holds a uniquely special meaning.
I'm a military vet too, so I'm a very patriotic person. And for me to do this and portray a soldier that brought us our freedom, it's just great.
As evidenced by the reenactors of the Colonial Encampment, Gaspee Days is not just a way to relive history. It's a way for Rhode Islanders to express unity in the Ocean State's push for freedom. In Warwick, I'm Ryan Medeiros, ABC6 News.
Thanks for that report, Ryan. And while Ryan was out in the field earlier today, here you can see on our Now Local News app that he was collecting all of these cool visuals at the Gaspee event. He says this year they unfortunately did not light the ship due to wet conditions. And happening tomorrow, class is back in session for Case High School. There were no classes on Friday after a fire started in a closet in the school. The Swansea Fire Department says the fire was contained to the closet, but smoke damage to the first floor resulted in classes being canceled. The fire happened around 3 in the afternoon, so students were already dismissed and they were not in the building when it happened. Now on to more Celtics coverage. ABC6 News sports director Nick Coit is live at TD Garden. Let's head on over to Nick. Another win. What's the energy like at the Garden? I don't know if people have cleared out at this point, but I'm sure it was very exciting when you were there.
Yeah, it was great, Caitlin. What a night, what an atmosphere here as the Celtics take Game 2 over the Dallas Mavericks 105-98. I think for most of the night, there was a lot of plays to cheer for, but there was some nervous energy the last few minutes because the Mavs going on a 9-0 run to cut the deficit down to 5 here late in the ball game. And let's show you the key play that got it done. It was on the defensive end of the floor. It was Derek White coming up with the block with under a minute to go on P.J. Washington. That helped the Celtics go back down the other end. Jaylen Brown with a lay-in the other way, and the Celtics close this one out 105-98. You can see Derek White making that huge play for the Celtics. The C's getting contributions on both ends of the floor all over the place, but it was White's key play that closes it out. Let's hear from Derek White just a few minutes ago on that big play.
Yeah, I'm just sprinting back, trying to make a play. Obviously they were making a little run there, and whatever means necessary, just sprinting back and meet him at the rim. I mean, I think my first 3 steps is really important. Just kind of put my head down and run. And then at that time, just trust the instincts and trust the timing that I have. And so just putting my head down and sprinting as fast as I can just to get in position and then go up and make a play.
It's funny, when you look at a box score on a game like this, you look through, you see the contributions that Drew Holiday made with a double-double, 26 points, 11 rebounds. You see what Jason Tatum did. He flirted with a triple-double tonight, 18 points and 12 assists. But then you look at Derek White's play and you say, well, that's the play that won the ball game, right? So you can contribute in every way, shape, or form in a game like this, especially in the NBA Finals. Derek White does it tonight. Now the Celtics are halfway toward Banner 18. Ian Steele's got full highlights from Game 2 of the NBA Finals, and I've got more post-game reaction coming up later in the Sportscast. For now, live inside TD Garden in Boston, I'm Nick Coit, ABC 6 Sports. Caitlin, back to you.
So exciting. Thank you so much, Nick. And as the race for the White House heats up, candidates are under more pressure. Hear the latest from President Biden and former President Donald Trump as they pave their way on the campaign trail. And we're looking at clear skies tonight after a wet first half of the day. Bill Guile has the breakdown of this week's weather. Stick around. We'll be right back.